What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Twilight 9 card. After yet another winning week down in Phoenix, we were up 1.2 units. I think over the last month, we're up 5. So we're looking to keep that going for the Pebble Beach Pro-Am this week. Let's jump right into it. First one up, a guy that I kind of mention every week on the show, Max Homa, top 20, plus 164. He hurt us last week. He didn't finish inside the top 40, but we're going right back to him. He's coming off a week where he ranked 3rd in strokes gained approach down in Phoenix in a loaded field, and that's going to be huge at Pebble. He needs to get the putter going, but this week he returns to a putting surface that he loves, and that's POA. He has good recent history at this golf course. He has a T14 in 2020 and a T10 in 2019. Look for him to kind of keep that momentum going. Max Homa, top 20, plus 164. Next one's a little bit of a value pick. Kyle Stanley, top 30, plus 188. He gained 4 strokes on approach at Torrey Pines, and in Phoenix last week, he gained over 5. His last 3 starts, T32, T18, T36. He's 13th on tour this season in strokes gained approach and 24th in greens of regulation. Look for him to up his finishing position just because of the strength of the field. Kyle Stanley, top 30, plus 188. Another top 30, Pino Molinari, plus 125. His last start was a T10 at the Farmers at Torrey Pines, very difficult golf course, and at the Sony Open, he finished T14. He ranks 34th on tour this season in strokes gained approach, and even though he doesn't have extensive history at this golf tournament, last year he did finish T11. Look for him to keep that going because of recent form. Peter Molinari, top 30, plus 125. Back to a top 20, Kevin Streelman, plus 163. This guy is just a guy that hits a bunch of greens and hits a bunch of fairways. He's one of the shortest guys on tour when it comes to driving distance, but Pebble's one of the shortest courses they play all season long, so that doesn't really matter here. Since 2016, Streelman has not finished outside the top 20 at this event, and since 2018, he hasn't finished outside the top 10. That includes a second place finish just last season. He had a T22 last week in Phoenix, so in a shorter field and a weaker field, look for him to improve on that finish last week. Kevin Streelman, top 20, plus 163. Another top 20, Francesco Molinari, plus 125. The Italian just found some form. In his last 4 starts on the PGA Tour, 3 of those are top 20s, 2 of those are top 10s, and they've happened very recently. He had a T8 at the American Express and a T10 at the Farmers. He hasn't played in the Pro-Am recently, but when the U.S. Open was here in 2019, he finished T16. So history at Pebble, good recent form. Francesco Molinari, top 20, plus 125. Last one's a little bit of a weird one. Nick Taylor, top Canadian, plus 138. He's the defending champion of this event and has other solid starts at Pebble Beach. Since 2016, aside from a missed cut in 2018, he has not finished outside the top 30. And the other options for top Canadian just aren't great. One hasn't made the cut here since 2016 and has only made 1 cut in his last 5 tournaments. One hasn't made the cut here ever, and the other has missed 5 straight cuts. Taylor is the best option in this spot, and he has recent good form as he notched a top 15 at the Sony Open. Nick Taylor, top Canadian, plus 138. And if you guys are looking for a winner, look at Jason Day, plus 2,000. He has missed his last 2 cuts, but that can be entirely blamed on his putter, which you can't say much for Jason Day. Last week in Phoenix, he lost 2.6 strokes on the field on the greens. That doesn't happen with him. He's gaining strokes in every other part of his game. He has 5 top 10s in his last 6 appearances here and finally gets back to a putting surface that he really likes, and that's POA. If he gets the flat stick going at all, watch out for the Aussie. And that's it, guys. We're looking for another winning week at Pebble. Enjoy the golf this weekend, and I will talk to you guys next week for the Genesis.